Vigilante Williamson here with the 15th episode of my show, The Vigilante Williamson Show. It is December 9th, Wednesday, December 9th, and I hope you are having a blessed evening. I was just in the chat of the big homie Clobbering Times. Love Clobbering Times. Good channel if you like classic comics. Apparently, he's up on classic sports, which is dope. We were talking about the old NFL, the voice of God, John Vacinda, if I pronounce his name correctly, and a bunch of other stuff in the chat, having a lot of fun. Nano Reaper is here. That is dope. Let me get to my stream yards. And cattle's online. We were talking about a lot of things, and sheep. Shout out to Nano Reaper. Hopefully you're in both streams. I don't want to steal anyone from Clobbering Times. He's really dope. I am going to take a little bit, make sure I'm good on Twitch, because we are streaming on multiple platforms. We're doing a lot of streaming to Twitch, YouTube, and D Live. So regardless of what platform you're on, thank you for joining me. Most of the fans are on the YouTubes. I appreciate all the love and support I've gotten from the Fandom Menace related channels. It's just been a ton of support and a ton of people watching. I didn't know Clobbering Times watched, and that's really cool to me. Just cool that anyone watches my stuff. This podcast is pretty late. I know that, and I apologize. It's still cool because a lot of people are watching the clips. So even these late podcasts, where even if everyone can't really join, people still will check out the clips. So I'm vamping a little bit, just trying to check all the platforms to make sure everything is good before getting into everything. We have a lot to talk about on this show, quite a bit. We have to talk about some evil waifus. We have to talk about Doc Ock. We have to talk about Mariko Tamaki failing up, and we have to talk about why the people don't matter to Hollywood. So let's get into the good news, or potentially good news first. I hope it's good news. And I'm actually, because I'm going cameraless, I might as well just go the faceless altogether. I might as well just not even be seen, if that's okay. If you want to see my logo talk, let me know in the chat. Otherwise, I'm just going to be a disembodied voice this podcast and just show the articles I want to get into and talk about what I want to talk about. So let's start off with some positive news, end with some positive news, but it's going to be kind of shit in the middle. That said, let's see what Nano Reaper says. If I have to choose between two streamers that I like, I try to choose the one with less subs that need the hours more. Well, thank you, Nano Reaper. I appreciate that. And I feel a little bit bad because, I mean, Clobbering Time's still a small channel as well. And even though I definitely appreciate you being here, these podcasts are just as good as clips, because I'm getting quite a few views on my clips. In fact, my most popular video the past week, one of the most popular videos in my channel's history was about Mariko Tamaki, and we actually have a follow-up in the next article after this. But let's get into this, because we have to, if we're going to be fans of franchises, and I am not 100% on the Spider-Man movies from Marvel. In fact, I've not been a fan of the Spider-Man movies from Marvel, but I am a fan of Spider-Man 2. I am a fan of the Raimi movies, even 3 to an extent. And Doc Ock was one of the best villains, not only in this movie, but in comic book history. When you really think about it, he almost gets underrated. But Alfred Molina's Doc Ock is to lay tentacles on Tom Holland. Nice job, Vulture. Nice job. Listen up, Molina heads. A source told The Hollywood Reporter today that Alfred Molina will reprise his role as Dr. Octopus in the upcoming Spider-Man 3, which I hate that people are all calling it Spider-Man 3. At least say Marvel's Spider-Man 3 or Marvel and Sony Spider-Man 3 to differentiate it from Spider-Man 3, the 2007 version, when I'm thinking about, the Raimi version. That's just a little nitpick, but I digress. Slated for a release December 2021. So, I mean, they had to start shooting pretty quick. Molina first played the tentacle baddie, Dr. Dr. Otto Octavius in Sam Raimi's 2004 sequel, Spider-Man 2, opposite Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker. The upcoming third movie in the Tom Holland Spider-Man franchise will see the return of Holland and Zendaya, as well as Jamie Foxx, reprising his role as Electro from 2014's The Amazing Spider-Man. So it's basically inside the Spider-Verse or into the Garfiverse. So that's the positive. So I just turned up my headphones. Also in the chat, let me know if there's any audio issues. I feel like there's sometimes audio issues. Please let me know. Don't let me have stuff in my teeth. But to talk about this, I'm pretty positive. I don't know how big of a role he's going to be. And it looks like multiverse is all the rage right now. There's a multiverse in DC. And yeah, Nano hits it right on the head. Toby is Spider-Man. He's the best Spider-Man there's been to me. He's been the best Spider-Man by far. Even if you think Tom Holland is a better actor, and that may or may not be the case, I think there's a lot of evidence to point towards that in general. He has not played Spider-Man. I actually, to go off something I said in Clobber and Times chat, we were talking about Superman. I have a fish memory. I was talking to Cardinal Sin. Shout out to Cardinal Sin. He's a writer, and we were talking about how writing is, not really apparent in a lot of these superhero movies, or not really there in a lot of these superhero movies. Good to see the audio is fine. Sorry. So I said Henry Cavill has yet to play Superman. And similarly, Tom Holland has yet to play Spider-Man. It's hard to judge him on being a Spider-Man when he's never played him. He's only played Robin. And I guess playing Robin as Spider-Man, he's done a good job for what he's been given. I mean, people seem to like the movies well enough. I have not been a fan. I didn't even really want to watch the first one. I saw part of it. I mean, Michael Keaton was cool. He was cool. And there were some twists and turns that were cool. But I just didn't like, he's not Spider-Man. And I didn't like making Spider-Man a teenager again. Can Spider-Man be an adult? Because to me, him being an adult and being a married man is just as much a part of his character as being a teenager. We don't need to see Uncle Ben. We don't need to see Bruce Wayne's parents die. We don't need to see Krypton explode. We get it. Let these characters transcend their origins and tell creative and interesting stories with them. The Spider-Verse movie is somewhat interesting, but let's be honest, they literally just did a Into the Spider-Verse movie a couple years ago as an animated film, and they're just doing a live-action version. Even though I'm excited, that isn't really creative. That isn't really new. And I mean, the Spider-Verse thing they did a few years before that in the comics. So I mean, within 10 years, they're getting so much out of the Spider-Verse concept. And it's a mess. But if you're going to do it, if you're going to be an uncreative mess, at least you're bringing back somebody who did the role justice. Before I go to the next story, I do want to give Alfred Molina a lot of credit for being Doc Ock. I think he did a really good job as Doc Ock, and he gets underrated when it comes to supervillains in comic book movies. I think people kind of, what's the phrase, don't give people their flowers. I don't think he gets his flowers for what he did as Doc Ock, especially considering like that Spider-Man franchise was a huge transformative thing for the view of superhero movies in the general populace. And I don't think people actually realize that if you weren't old enough to realize how maybe Blade, the X-Men movies, and Spider-Man all kind of made comic books a little bit more serious again. That's how you got the precursor to your that came before Batman Begins. That came before the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You had these type of movies, and Nano Reaper brought up another similar. To me, Superman will always be Christopher Reeve. Very, very similar. I was talking about because Henry Cavill, to me, is the best casting they've had since Christopher Reeve, but he hasn't been allowed to play Superman. So we don't know how good he could be as Superman. But nothing will ever replace Christopher Reeve, especially now when you consider how optimistic his portrayal was, and they don't even allow optimism um, in the art of acting. Alfred Molina was a good Doc Ock. I really liked him as Doc Ock. But yeah, um, the multiverse thing is getting old, especially with Spider-Man. But Alfred Molina was a good Doc Ock, and so I'm really happy that he'll be returning. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so we talked. Let's start here. Last week, the most popular video I had was about this shit. I Am Not Starfire by Mariko Tamaki. Now, to be 100% fair, she did not write, or she did not draw this. She didn't write this, and by she I mean her. This is the writer. This is the writer of this comic book, which was one of the most controversial things last week in the nerd culture. It's something that got me almost 200 views, which I know isn't a lot, but for me, it's a ton. It makes it one of the most popular videos on my channel, and it was just a clip of it. And it was because this is garbage, and this is a clear self-insert for this person. So what does this person get as a result of such an embarrassing black mark on a company that is $150 billion in debt, that just put all of his eggs in the HBO Max basket in Warner Media? What does this person get as a result for such an embarrassing thing? They get a promotion. They get to write the best fictional character of all time. Don't at me. In my opinion, Batman is the greatest fictional character of all time. That does not mean he is not without his faults. That does not mean he does not have a fan base that tends to go a bit overboard. I'm a Batman fan. I'm a diehard. He's my favorite character, obviously, but I love my Batman fans. But they can be a bit crazy. He is the greatest fictional character because he's one of the most malleable. He can be what the writer wants him to be. He can be what you need him to be. He's what you need, but not what you deserve, but not what you need right now. But rather, we deserve this and need it right now. Mariko Tamaki. Let me not get this woman's name. As Nana Reaper said, one angry cat lady. And to also add, Dean Cain did a good job on small screen. He did. But Mariko Tamaki is Detective Comics' first long-term female writer. That is what Comic Book Resources has to report. Not the fact that she is a bit, she's a tragedy as far as a writer. Not the fact that, she's a meme machine. And granted, I've heard some positive things from your boy Zach about her Wonder Woman run. I have not read, I haven't really read regular comics in a while, but that's neither here nor there. Let me actually just get into the story before I give it all my spiel. During the CCXP Worlds 2020 Virtual Con, DC Comics revealed who will helm the Detective Comics series in March after its Future State event. Artists Dan Mora and Mariko Tamaki will team up again to helm number 1034 or 1034 and take lead on the series. DC's latest creative team announcement came during its Future State Batman panel, which also created comic book history. Mariko Tamaki will be the second woman to be a lead writer on a core Batman title and the first to write for the series long term, as reported by Polygon. I don't know how long term is going to be. I'm going to be honest. And the reason I say I don't know how long term is going to be is because we've heard the rumors, and I don't think they really founded, but that DC is not even going to be printing comics by June of 2021. I'm not even going to act like I've read a lot of this angry cat lady in her work. I have not. I've not read her work, but I'm going to be honest. I don't really want to. And I'm somebody who could buy comics. Like I said, Batman is my favorite character, and I'm always been a casual fan at worst of his comics. I bought his comics and his um, graphic novels throughout the years, many a time. Yeah, I'm someone who's not gonna buy this. Just like I didn't buy Tom King, just like I didn't buy. I haven't even bought Tinian. Everyone likes his stuff. I don't really. I've heard about it. It's like I don't really want to read this, see this. Hey, just because I'm planning underground facility for a Muso black painted T-72 tank called the Bat Tank does not make me an obsessive fan. It does not. And the Second Amendment that I interpret means you should be allowed that tank, sir. So enjoy. But I digress. Not about politics, at least yet. But like, why do people get to fail up? That's why the title of this podcast is Fair is Something They Judge Pigs at. Hopefully that's why I titled it. I forget my titles sometimes. Believe it or not. I know the gist of the title. What did I call this things? What did I call this crap? No, it's not crap. Fair is where they judge pigs. Yeah. Fair is where they judge pigs. I am not talking about anyone, and because I am a big guy, even though this is Nano Reaper saying it's not me. I bet she has less than 50, but more than 10 cats. That's a safe bet. But listen, Nano Reaper, and I'm going to let you know what's wrong. You want to know what's really wrong with society? And I'm going to edit this out of the clip, but I'm going to keep it on the podcast. You're not wrong that she has less than 50, but more than 10 cats. You know what's wrong with society? 75% of dudes will still smash with all of the facts that we just laid out. That's why society is in the state it is in. And speaking of which, evil waifu time. Yes, evil waifu time. We have to talk about two of my favorite evil waifus, AOC and Sana Amanat. Let's first get into Miss AOC, Miss Hypocrite AOC. Tax the rich, about $60. Let's see how much. You know what? If I want to ship this bitch. Oh, do you want to make an additional contribution? You want to pay her more money? Jesus, they get personal information. Oh yeah, because this is a political contribution. That's why they're taxing you for these sweatshirts and trying to get you to tax the rich. You know what? AOC, and I've said this once and I'll say it again. She's the most dangerous woman on earth. To paraphrase a comic book quote, what Superman told was the White Russians when they had the Justice League and Batman broke in. He's like, how did he get in? He's the most dangerous man on earth. AOC is the most dangerous woman on earth. Make no mistake about it. And she's learned from her master Bernie, her Sith Lord Bernie, how to be a capitalist who sells socialism. I am just write a good story. I don't care about their skin color, sexual orientation, or gender. I agree with this, Nano Reaper. I agree. But AOC, just like Bernie, is selling you socialism. Oh, it takes the courage, all these little cool colors, all these shirts. Let's see how to get that. All it takes the courage. 50. Okay, 27. They're not really taxing for the shirts, the tees. They're not really taxing for the tees. They sold out. This is why she's dangerous, bro. This is why she's dangerous. You can't even get the tees. Social, economic, and racial justice. AOC. She's selling this shit. 27 a pop. She'd be less dangerous if Twitter died. I agree. But while it's a lie, she's the most dangerous woman on earth. And she's selling these hoes 27 a pop. Wow. And of course it's a union label. Vicious. And not only that, she's winning the employee of the month at Goya Foods. Look at her. She's generating more for the economy than she did when she canceled all those jobs from Amazon. Even though she said fuck Bezos, so she's an evil waifu. We agree on certain things. So AOC, unlikely employee of the month win for Goya Foods. I don't think it's unlikely at all. I mean, nobody calls Goya Foods more gave them more money than AOC. Succeeding only as she can, Representative Alexandria Ocasio Cortez. Oh my God, I always screw up AOC's name. I can't screw up my waifu's name. I don't want to damage my evil waifu's name. I have to sing to her to keep her okay. Until no, I'm not going to sing Prince to her. Never simp for the evil waifus. Don't even simp for the moderate waifus. Don't simp for any waifus. Simp for your wife if you get one, not waifus. Okay, enough is enough. At a White House event in July, Bob Unani, and I know I mispronounced his name, praised President Trump as a builder. That prompted ex-housing secretary Julian Castro to call for a boycott of the Hispanic-owned food giant, which hires mostly Hispanic employees. But the big noise came when AOC tweeted out support for slapping Goya. The company saw a sales jump 1,000%. Hence, I want to pronounce the brother's name. Unanu's ironic honors for the Congresswoman, which he revealed on the Michael Berry show this week. CEO also calls Ocasio Cortez, I think that was right, naive for claiming support for the Hispanic community but advocating for socialist policies like the Green New Deal that would kill countless working class jobs. Well, listen, she can sell these shirts. She's talking about, she put economic and racial justice on the mug. I don't know what you're talking about. It says social, economic, and racial justice on this $30 mug. What do you mean? Are you telling me that doesn't mean that she's for Hispanic people because she put that on the mug? Are you kidding me? What? Crazy. Let's see what Nano Reaper's talking about. We need a Pinochet and a bunch of helicopters. Yes, we do. Yeah, but here's the thing. She can create artificial demand and she says she makes a batches of, say, 100 and sells out. She is popular. More people sell out than people think she's more popular than she is. I agree, Nano Reaper. I don't disagree. Just like she can arbitrarily listen. I don't know if you noticed anything about the democratic process in America nowadays. If you can arbitrarily create it, it's real. That's how things are. With the machine the way it is, doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter if she didn't really have 500,000 people on her stream for Among Us. I believe a lot of those were genuine. I believe a lot of people on the right underestimate her because she's stupid. You know what I mean? And they think, well, she's dumb. Things she says doesn't make sense. Therefore, she can't be popular. But, I jokingly call her evil waifu. Trust me when I say this, she is other people's evil waifu. People think she's the hardest worker. She even said she thinks that these conservative senators, of course, only the conservative senators, don't seem to understand that she's actually had a physically difficult working class job without good health care most of her adult life. The lie detector test determined that was a lie because she had a silver spoon in her life. You're absolutely right. Twitter is artificial. 100 people can make a Twitter trend. Twitter is completely artificial. Less than 10% of the people on Twitter do more than 80% of the tweets. Twitter is completely artificial. It's completely fraudulent. Just like AOC, but just like the votes in this country are allegedly. Look at this. Yes, Queen. I don't even know what the hell they're talking about. I don't even know who this is. Some thought twisting her head for AOC. Or in a meme for AOC. No, there are a lot of dumb people in the USA. Ding. There are a lot of dumb people in the USA. I mean, Twitter's still fake. Twitter, I still the 10% thing is not fraudulent. That's not something I made up. That's true. Less than 10% do more than 80% of the tweets because you can spam and there's a lot of spam. So Twitter is actually fraudulent. But when you talk about other social media, Snapchat, well, I don't know if Snapchat is still popular, but I know TikTok and Instagram and even Facebook, that's more representative social media than Snapchat. I mean, Parler, I wouldn't even say is representative, but Twitter definitely isn't. But, she can tax the rich. AOC can do no wrong to the people who love her. She can. That's what makes her dangerous. But all the evil waifus do not have the same superpowers. Let's take this evil waifu, Sana Amanat. You might say, what makes this waifu so evil? Besides, being the origin of Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel is her course, her Sable. Miss Marvel is her self-insert, Sana Amanat. Well, her cousin is Huma Abla. I am going to mispronounce so many names. I'm going to be called a white supremacist even though I'm black. Sana Amanat's self-insert is Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel. Sana Amanat's cousin is Huma Aberdeen, the wife of Anthony Text My Dingaling to Underage Girls Wiener, and the assistant to Hillary Clinton. And I believe she also had a role in the Obama administration. Basically, this woman is connected to the DNC. Oh, and her brother is a huge producer in Hollywood. Her family is a rich family that's real connected into politics in Hollywood. And again, she is the origin of Miss Marvel. It is her self-insert. So that's what makes her responsible for what we're about to get into. Let's see what Nano Reaper is talking about. Snapchat is popular because it has self-deleting news. Or JAT. I don't know what JAT is. But is Snapchat still popular? If it is, I mean, I don't know. I am old. No one talks to me. So I have no idea how life works. But what I do know is you brought this wokeness, Sana Amana, into Marvel. This was your idea to make everything woke and garbagey. And as a result, this happened. There's been a ton of backlash, a Fix Miss Marvel hashtag. Someone has been doxxed and accused of being a sex offender. And of course, they were not. It was another guy who was 43 years old and lives in a different state, but that doesn't matter. People still went after Andrew Brodeur. Twitter is up in a frenzy because of Miss Marvel. And you're right. Miss Marvel is hot Carol Danvers, who was almost murdered by Rogue, not this stretchy bitch. Brown rep, you better do it right. You're representing for me. I will not tolerate no Trump supporters or crackers where they do not belong. That is so tolerant. By the way, whoever this guy is, Marvel cast members, Hungry Howies. That's what I get for being obese. Miss Marvel cast member denies support of Donald Trump following fan backlash. So basically, he had to renounce his Trumphood because we live in a democracy and actually having choosing who you want as president apparently is against the law. If you choose the wrong person, you have to be shamed. That's the country we live in. So much for democracy, right? And even if that's if the vote even counts, but that's neither here nor there. Excitement quickly turned to disappointment as Marvel fans have expressed their displeasure over Miss Marvel's casting choices. You're telling me it all began where the Twitter page Miss Marvel News pointed out several issues surrounding some of the show's cast members. Allegedly, the stars of the upcoming Marvel spinoff show have had either problematic past or aren't exactly fit to play their respective roles. The controversy resulted in the hashtag Fix Miss Marvel, which calls for Marvel Studios to do something about their casting issues. The Twitter page clarified that there are no way. Just get out of the way. Jeez. Oh, fudge. Okay, it's here to stay, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize. Twitter page clarified that they are in no way associated with the upcoming show or Marvel Studios, but that did not stop them from exposing some of the show's casting members. For starters, they claim that Andrew Brodeur has multiple gender discrimination charges. The hell? Bezos' social media has multiple Title IX charges filed against him. What in the world is that? As I showed that, whoever the sex offender wasn't him. They also criticized the casting of Yasmin Fletcher in a Muslim role, despite her being a half-white Christian girl. That's not racist or discriminatory towards religion at all. Zenobia Shroff, who plays Kamala Khan's mother. Yasmin Fletcher has not done anything as egregious, but we find it inappropriate that a half-white Christian girl was apparently cast as Nakia Badur. So, yeah. We live in a republic. Okay, yeah, technically we live in a republic. But they're supposed to be democratically chosen, and that no longer is the case. Miss Marvel's a blonde that wears a bodysuit. Just another thought. Okay. Just another thought. I get you. So we bend the knee to some basement dwelling body funk having trash. Nope, I refuse. Well, that's the way of the world. To give you a little Earth, Wind, and Fire. And I cannot remember all the lyrics this late at night. So there we go. The biggest victim of the allegations was Matt Lenz, who was rumored to play Bruno Corelli in the series. Lenz is being attacked by fans on social media for allegedly being a Trump supporter. Dun, dun, dun. How dare you vote for the Orange Man? You're supposed to vote like we tell you. That's not allowed. Something the young actor had to deny. Explaining his side on official Twitter accounts, Lynn said he's sick and tired of all the negative and degrading comments about him. He would then claim he is not in any way an avid supporter of Trump. I'm writing this because I'm sick and tired of hearing the same negative and degrading comments about me, who I am as a person, from people who have never met me and for a second, or who I am as a person. I'm coming out on the record and say I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm a 19-year-old kid who's self-aware that I don't know anything about politics. I don't speak on it. I am rather allowing myself to get educated on matters. So when I truly speak on them, I know I'm educated enough to talk about the said matter. Many have taken me not saying anything politically as if I'm one side or the other. So basically, he's saying, hey, I know I don't know about politics, so I'm not going to talk about politics. And so because he doesn't talk about politics, he's a Trump supporter. What is it? So, and when the allegations are not charges or convictions. Yeah, that's what it is. Bending the knee to a mob of like 50 people who don't wash their ass, who live in there are like 2 apartments, one in Brooklyn, one in Portland, with like 20 people apiece who do all the tweeting for Twitter. And there's like 1 bar of soap between them. All smells like ass. That's who's doing all the tweeting. That's Twitter. Let's get some of these tabs out the way. But yeah, our evil waifu. She brought this wokeness in. Sheesh. She's a short one. Listen, you can see why she's the waifu part, but she's evil. She brought this wokeness into this world. Look at all this crazy shit that these people are saying. They hire Trumpy, half Christian white, to play a non-white hijab woman, an Indian actress to play a Pakistani woman, and yeah. Let me see. Some of this stuff got really crazy. This fixed mixed Marvel. Dude, I'm looking for some of the craziness. Trumpy. This Trump, listen, man. And I'm not even a huge Orange Man guy. Yeah, I voted for him. But this idea that if somebody voted for or likes Trump, or even has anything other than hatred or even neutrality. Even like Natalie said, oh my God, someone in Hollywood who doesn't speak about politics. Hell is frozen over. A kid that says, you know, I'm 19, I don't know about this shit, nor do I care, so I'm not going to talk about it. And it's like, no, he has to be shamed. Listen, if we're going to talk about how evil this company Disney is, another reason this is the evil waifu, but I would sing Prince to her, the rubber feet. But I'm joking, I think. But Disney's evil. So they're not going to do anything about this. They're probably going to bend to the whims. Why do I say Disney is evil? This is the face of wickedness, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to Geeky Sparkles, who is the author of this article. Christine McCarthy, Disney CFO, gets contract extension and $11 million annual incentive. This woman, the actual Wicked Witch. Disney is not doing well. People are being furloughed and laid off left and right. In fact, they laid off 28,000 people. 28,000 people in one of the rounds of layoffs, not including all the layoffs at ESPN and every single division of Disney, entertainment, everything Disney owns, they're laying off people, important people too. But not Christine McCarthy. She just got her contract extended for a year and a half until December 30th, 2022. And she has an equity-based long-term incentive compensation with a target award value of $11 million. So they can't keep entertainers and cast members because they're financially strapped. But their CFO just got a contract extension with a target award value of $11 million each fiscal year or annually, $11 million award. And she's the CFO that may have allegedly cooked the books, by the way. There was a report a few years ago about, I think 2017, 2018, about some fuckery going on with their books, but it went away. And this woman, look at this picture. This is her. This person is so evil. This is the best they can come up with a public picture. This woman, the actual Wicked Witch, actual Cruella de Vil. She's the fucking CFO at fucking Disney. She gets $11 million. She's one of the execs getting an award, by the way. Other execs are getting awards or bonuses. Here's the sum of the details about Miss McCarthy. Of course, it's Miss. She probably somebody now you said something about the cats. This is what happens when the one angry cat lady gets the bag. This is when the cat lady gets the bag. This is what happens. 28,000 people laid off, 11 million to her. Let's see what the SEC talks about with her employment extension. Upon a term subject to the conditions of this agreement, the company hereby employ executive and oh Lord, this is all legal speak. Too much legal speak for me. Let's try to cut. I don't want to, go visit pirates and princesses.net. So, give Geeky and the Clownfish TV people some love. Check out their ads. You know what I mean? Show them some love. But yeah, cast members are being laid off by the tens of thousands. They're making their own food pantries to help each other. Disney blogs are rallying to raise money to help them. But Christine McCarthy gets a contract extension and $11 million in incentives per year. And she's just one of many. They laid off those 28,000 people for the books to look good each quarter. And the next quarter, more people will be laid off, and these execs will still get their fucking bonuses. She probably does have a coat made of puppy fur as well. The champagne socialists are still drinking Dom, riding limos, jets, wheeling and dealing, kiss stealing, private yachts. $600 of shoes. Yeah, I know I'm doing a lot of Ric Flair stuff. But seriously, these people get to live a life of luxury and they will get bailed out. They will get our tax money too. If you don't believe me, you don't think they're going to tax money, this next story should let you know. Because even though our schools are closed, you cannot send your kid to Atlanta schools, but we can use those schools to film movies in. Outrage after Spider-Man allowed to film and close Atlanta high schools. Permission sparks backlash from parents whose children have been barred from in-person learning due to the coup since March. So these kids cannot go to school in Atlanta, but Disney can film movies. You think they're not going to get bailed out? Please. Rules for thee, but not for me, because they live in a different world and they are letting us know, the powers that be. Marvel's untitled third Spider-Man movie, which I'm excited about. We talked about Doc Ock in it, but they get granted special permission to shoot at 2 high schools in Atlanta, sparking backlash from the parents whose children have been barred from in-person learning at schools for more than 8 months. Too bad kids don't generate millions, the millions a movie does, or they'd be back in front of their teachers in a classroom rather than a computer screen, one parent wrote on Twitter, as reported by the Washington Post. School is not only safe, it's necessary for learning, especially when you consider that the coof is a lot less dangerous in children. As the coof cases soar in the U.S., Atlanta authorities have said public school students will not return to in-person learning before January. But Spider-Man is going to be able to film at Frederick Douglass and Henry W. Grady high schools as early as January and March, respectively. That is the double standard. It's a high school. That is a high school. It looks like a prison. I think this is actually just a prison or whatever the hell scene from their movie. But I will play Angel's Advocate on that comment. You can make an argument with the way schools are going with this. We heard about the San Diego schools talking about white privilege training. We have a lot of wickedness in our schools, especially with this critical theory. I can't imagine what the next generation is going to look like. So we have a lot of wickedness in our indoctrination camps that we call schools that we were indoctrinated in. So you can make an argument that these schools being closed is not the worst thing on earth, but it's the double standard that's really the issue. And again, the government will do for these Hollywood companies what they won't do for us. It's almost like a BBC situation because these companies are going to be subsidized. They already really were. I covered in my last podcast how the PPP situation went. So these companies are subsidized by our government informally, but they are. They're allowed to operate when we aren't. We're not even allowed to educate ourselves, but they're able to film their indoctrination and force us to watch and force us to pay for it. Now, we don't have to pay for it as consumers, but we have to pay for it as taxpayers because they have the right connection with our government. Isn't that lovely? Public schools are the reason me and my wife homeschool our daughters. You're right to do that, Nano Reaper. You're giving your kids such a advantage in life by homeschooling them. I'm sure you do know, but words cannot express. I hope your kids really thank you because you're giving them a blessed life by getting them out of this evil public school system. There's just no point to it, and the fact that they're this wicked should let you know how they really are. That they're this wicked to do something like this should let you know how they really are. Speaking of wickedness in Hollywood, because we're nearing the end. I know we got a lot to cover. We've covered a lot. Goodness, it's only 44 minutes. I've been zooming through this one. I'm surprised. We're going to play this video. You probably have seen it, Nano Reaper. You're the only one watching it live. But for the playback, because we know a lot of people are watching these playbacks from these clips. Let's play this clip. There's more to double standard. Hey, Mando Merc. How you doing? Just talking about the double standard that Hollywood gets to live in. Hopefully you can hear good. So her outdoor patio is basically set up the same way. No audio on the clip. Damn it. Okay. Okay. You know what? Let me try something else. And you know what? The audio is not gonna play. Damn it. It just hit me. Audio is not gonna play because I did this stream in the wrong browser because I am a butthead. Let me try something. Let's see what happens. I'm about to try something. Uh-oh. Okay. So there's two of me. Oh. All right, can you hear me? I'm back. So that was a ordeal. So now let's try all that. Let me finally try to play this damn clip. Okay. Let's try this again. Let's start from the tippy top. I mean, I'm sure you've seen the clip. Let me see. I get her point. Her business is being shut down, but the food service tent can remain open. That's the point. That's the point of the video. There's a few things I wanted to go over, actually towards the middle, since you guys get the point.
For a movie company.
And they're the same. The tents are set up the same.
I'm losing everything. Everything I own is being taken away from me. And they set up a movie company right next to my outdoor patio, which is right over here.
The government is not your friend, lady.
And people wonder why I'm protesting and why I have had enough. They have not given us money and they have shut us down. We cannot survive. My staff cannot survive. Look at this.
They don't care. The government, this is
Tell
fascism.
me that this is dangerous.
You guys were worried about fascists?
Next to me as a slap in my face.
California is fascism. Hollywood is fascism. You guys have said fascist. Fascist is when corporations and government become one and the same. When the government tells you you cannot work.
Mayor Garcetti and Gavin Newsom is responsible for every single person that doesn't have unemployment, that does not have a job, and all the businesses that are going under. And we need your help. We need somebody to do something about this.
You are the help. Your video's the help, sweetie. No one else is coming for you because this is true fascism. You've been orange man fascist. And in some ways, you're not 100% correct. You're not 100% incorrect. I talked about how these, bailouts have really went, how the stimulus has really went. And you're looking for more money. You think looking for the same government that create these conditions for you is not going to help you. Hell, the same government, the same state-sponsored TV, they're going to edit the video so the people don't even understand what you're talking about. And yeah, now Reaper's right. Just open up. That's the only thing you can do. But they've edited the video so it doesn't understand they don't understand what's going on. Apparently their coverage was out of context. They covered up the fact that the catering was for NBAs. Oh Lord, Audi. No one here can afford a damn Audi.
I made a business out of my
Oh
passion.
boy.
I mean, who doesn't love obsessing
Jesus,
over
no.
network security?
Well,
All
from
our
not
techs
hearing
are
the sound
pros.
to not hearing
They
some
know
damn
exactly
ad sound.
which
Okay,
parking lot.
okay, we get the point. We get the point. Fuck it. My point is, NBC News edited the truth, which I didn't even know NBC had a news network. So that's what your government does for you, Miss Martin. I'm sorry to tell you that. Your government, your state that you wanted fascism, or people, I'm not sure whether she's on the left or not. She's in California, so one can only assume, right? But you guys asked about fascism. Fascism is when they tell your business to shut down and open up whatever they want right next to you. Just like they told everyone's business to shut down and said you could only spend money at Walmart or Amazon because they close everything else. So where else are you going to spend the money? Fascism is when you try to protest and try to let people know, and then the media tells everyone how wrong you are and tries to make you out to be something that you're not and tries to slander you for just trying to put food on your table. That's fascism. Stimalism was a waste of time and money. Yes. Yes. This will only stop. Oh, I don't know if I can read that, Nano Reaper, but you may not be too far off. I can, but I like my car to run more than 3 years. I'm not sure what that was in reference to. I may have missed the point. But yeah, NBC, and it was an NBC comedy, so of course NBC News is gonna cover it up. NBC comedy, Good Girls, is more important for them to eat than for this business to be open. Just like it's more important and granted it's the indoctrination system, but it's more important for Spider-Man 3 to be filmed in high school to take place in high school. But luckily and hopefully this won't be lasting too long because aliens are here. Same NBC News. So we don't know how Audi. Oh, the Audi. I can't buy like my car. Yeah. The ad. Screw out. Yeah. I don't have any money for Audi. If I want a really expensive car that is not going to run for 3 years, I'm getting the Alfa Romeo. But I digress. Former Israeli space security chief says extraterrestrials exist and Trump knows about it. A galactic federation has been waiting for humans to reach a stage where we will understand what space and spaceships are, Haim Ashid said. This is a major news network. Now, granted, it's NBC News. We just, talked about how crazy they are. And this is in weird news, but this is real news that a Israeli intelligence agent says aliens exist. I know you weren't expecting this twist, but yeah, maybe the aliens will finally end our suffering and we will not have to deal with much more of this. A former Israeli space security chief has sent eyebrows shooting heavenward by saying, interesting choice of words, by saying Earthlings have been in contact with extraterrestrials from a galactic federation. The UFO have asked them not to publish that they are here. Humanity is not ready yet, Haim Eshed said. The former head of this Israel Defense Ministry Space Directorate. Israel's Lord. This, however you pronounce this, Yediot Aharet not newspaper. The interview in Hebrew ran on Friday and gained traction after parts were published in English for the Jerusalem Post on Tuesday. Respected professor and retired general Ishid said the aliens were equally curious about humanity and were seeking to understand the fabric of the universe. Ishid said cooperation and agreements have been signed between the species, including an underground base in the depths of Mars, where there are American astronauts and alien representatives. This is crazy, right? There's an agreement between the U.S. government and the aliens, and they signed a contract with us to do experiments here. Of course they did. He added that President Trump was aware of the extraterrestrials and had been on the verge of revealing this information, was asked not to do so to prevent mass hysteria. And a few years ago, he came up with the Space Force. No, they would just rock on for us from orbit and strip mine the planet. I don't think we're that valuable. That's, I think, what the problem is. I really don't. I really don't. I think they're just like, I think Earth is like a random town in Delaware to these aliens. They're like, oh, this is cool. Let's go to a real planet. You know what I mean? Like, this is not, it's not the worst. It's not the best. We're just like a non-play. And sorry if you live in Delaware. Watch Nano Reapers from Delaware. He's pissed. But it's not, I don't think we're that big of a deal. I don't even think we're like that interesting. That's the only thing I disagree with. They would be that fascinated with us, unless there's just no one else are out. We're the first people that they can come across. They have been waiting until today for humanity to develop and reach a stage where we understand in general what space and spaceships are, referring to the Galactic Federation. So yeah, you might want to check this out. His ideas are spelled out more in detail in The Universe Beyond the Horizon, Conversations with Professor Haim Ishid by Hagar Yani, published in November. So believe the science. He's a professor. Believe the science. Remember that. Believe the science. We aren't, but our water and minerals are. Man, but that's only assuming the alien biology. We don't know if what we determine as valuable. We assume that, life requires water because everything we know about life is based upon what we know about life. Alien life just throws everything into a loop. So we may think that, water is valuable because it's on our planet. But if aliens are capable of interdimensional travel, like, resources aren't a big deal because they can get to wherever they need to. Granted, they need the resources to travel, but you know what I mean. No, I am from a free state that is suing all those cheating states. Well, good for you. I am from I'm from Detroit, so yeah, the city I was born in has a lot to do with what's going on. So yeah, so good thing you're not from Delaware. But it's, Trump came up with a Space Force. When he came up with the Space Force, I said it was not for no reason. We've heard too much smoke on this alien extraterrestrial thing this year. I absolutely, positively, on all that I love, believe there's some fire to this. To what extent, I haven't the slightest of clues, but it's crazy. Of all the things that have happened in 2020, we live in an era where extraterrestrials are now being reported by mainstream news outlets, by major officials for other countries, for Israel. You know what I mean? Israel's a major country, obviously, and space security officials are having their findings about extraterrestrials reported by the mainstream news. We are suing them. I hope you win. Detroit, listen, all the L's Detroit has taken, this is one we need to take. Good Lord. It's a fucking tragedy. It's a tragedy that they were, I talked about that one on the podcast, but they were bullying these people and basically letting people know, everyone's going to know what your kids are and shit like that. That's fucked up. Completely fucked up. But let's not talk about how fucked up humanity is. I love ending my podcast with positive news because we have to remember. Stop sharing. Oh, geez, this has been up part of the podcast. Shut up. Hide. I love ending the podcast with positive news. A man tackles and punches a bear to save his dog. We all love our animals. Would you punch a bear for your animal? Nana Reaper, I'm not sure if you have pets, and if you're watching in the future on the playback, I'm not sure if you have pets, but would you fight a bear for your dog? This California man did. His Thanksgiving brawl against a bear saved the life of his beloved dog. Caleb Benham said he was outside his home in Grass Valley, California, and he heard a commotion outside. He looked outside and saw a 350-pound black bear. Why's it got to be a black bear? Huh? Racism, obviously. Just joking. Attacking his dog, Buddy. Heard a growl and looked about 75 to 100 feet down, and the bear was dragging him by his head and had his head in his mouth. Oh my God. He immediately sprang into action. I just ran out there and plowed the bear, tackled it, grabbed it by the throat, and started hitting it in his face and eye until it let go. Wow. Oh my God, poor dog. A man's love for I can't look at the dog. I'm sorry. Buddy received his emergency surgery to insert staples, stitches, and tubes to drain fluid from his head. He's now recovering back at home. Oh, thank God. He said he rescued Buddy from a shelter and didn't hesitate to rescue him again from the jaws of 350-pound bear. The only thing I could think of is save my baby, told CBS Sacramento. If it was your kid, what would you do? That was my kid. I would die for my dog. I hope the dog recovers. Holy crap. I can't even show the picture again. That was pretty brutal. But it's a inspiring story. I mean, he fought a bear for his dog, and I'm sure his adrenaline was kicking in. He saved his dog's life. That's a very brutal and sad story. Yeah, but I most likely just shoot the bear and turn it into a rug. A black bear because a brown bear would have killed this. Oh, Lord. Here we go with this. Actually, I don't know enough about bears to know. But yeah, because it actually sounds small. Because when I think of bear, I think like 600 bigger. So I think a brown bear is bigger. I don't know enough about the genetics of bears and how that works. I was just making a joke. Black bear is smaller than a bear polar. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, when I saw 350-pound bear, I'm like, he's lucky it was a smaller bear. Because I thought bears were bigger. So it must be the brown bears that are bigger bears. So thank you, Nana Reaper. I appreciate the education. So this is the last story. We're going to end on a positive note and end the podcast. Nursing home residents are going deer hunting this Christmas season. Nursing homes are finding fun and creative ways to bring joy to residents this holiday season. Hopefully they are not in Michigan or New York. Nursing home staff are dressing up as deer and running around Christmas trees as residents hunt them down with toy guns. This is pretty cute. I got the idea to turn our dining room into a forest and bring out all the Christmas trees before we decorate them. Continental Manners activity director Lisa Beach said it was such a blast. There's a cute video of them shooting. Oh, Jesus. I guess it's better than getting copyright struck. But that's the podcast, ending on a cute note. Let's just close out the podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. I appreciate Nano Reaper being the lone guy in the chat. Usually it's Fenrir, which I've mispronounced his name, and I appreciate Fenrir. I'm sure he'll watch the playback because he's a huge fan, and I'm a huge fan of his work. He's a writer from Angola, and I hope he can get. He has 3 seasons of TV. Fenrir the Ice Wolf. I'm giving you a shout out, special shout out to end the podcast, even though I know whatever time of day it is, it's too late for you. But if you watch this back, he has 3 seasons of his show written. He sent me the pilot. I haven't read through it all, but just the idea that this kid and his friend has a TV show and they already have 3 seasons written, and they're just trying to get on and get a cartoon made. And I just want to put that out there that this guy is doing that, and I hope that somebody can help him along. Other people who may know more, have more connections than me, can help him along, because I'm really inspired by that kid's energy, and I just want to give him a shout out and give anyone else who's watching in the future or the past a shout out. I want to thank you all for watching. I just got another view as I close, so I'm sorry to say that, whoever just joined. But if you're still watching, if you made it through like Nana Reaper through this entire podcast, I love you so much. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, please like the video. If you don't, or if there's something you want to say, let me know in the comments below. If you're so obliged to share, subscribe, please do so. Okay. Oh, Eric K, the Rich King. Okay, who here has not smashed that thumbs up and shown the love? Eric K. I feel honored to have Eric K as my wrench. Now I've moved up in the world. I'm almost at 100 subs. This is the 15th episode of my podcast. I've had a video do over 100 views, which for me is huge. I'm feeling like I'm on cloud nine as a YouTuber. I have the wrench to the stars. Eric K is my sub. So if you like this video, please like the video. If you're so obliged to share and subscribe, please do so. Let me know how you feel in the comments below. And even if you do none of these things, I still love you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your time.